I'll be looking at a comparison of Dell home laptops versus Dell business laptops. So I'm going to open the correct pages. So we'll just look at everyday standard laptops. So they have the new Inspiron 15s. Okay, so we have Inspiron 15 for just £199. You get an Intel Celeron dual-core CPU, Windows 8.1, 4GB of memory, and a 500GB hard drive. For the 239 Inspiron 15 model, you get two options. In fact, that's wrong. Apologies for that. You don't get two options. The way it works is on the left of the page, it says the starting app price, and then it's got the two of that model. So for the Inspiron 15, you've got the 239 model, which has the Celeron processor, Windows 8.1, 4GB of memory, and a 320 hard disk drive. And then you have the 259 model, which is the Pentium model, and it's all the same except it has the Pentium and the 500GB hard drive. And of course, these have get free shipping until blah blah blah. So we have the Inspiron 15 3000 series, and this is new, and it starts at $279. For the standard 279, we have the Intel Pentium processor, which is of course dual core, Windows 8.1, and 4GB of memory with a 500GB hard drive. Now, then you have the 329 model, which has the 4th generation Intel Core i3 CPU, Windows 8.1, 4GB of memory, and a 500GB hard drive. And for 349, you get an even higher Intel Core i3, Windows 8.1, 4GB of memory, 500GB hard drive, and of course, it's touch enabled. So here's the new Inspiron 15 5000 series. They've got one starting at $499, which is the 4th generation Intel Core i5, and I'm sure it will end up getting the 5th generation i5 when it comes out, running Windows 8.1 with 8 gigs of memory and a 1TB hard disk drive. You have the 549 model, which has the 4th generation Intel Core i7, Windows 8.1, 8GB of memory, and a 1TB hard drive. The Inspiron 15 579 is the Intel Core i7 4th gen, Windows 8.1, 8GB of memory, 1TB hard drive, so basically the same specs as the 549, but it's got the touch. Then the Inspiron 17, starting at 299, has a Pentium dual core, Windows 8.1, 500GB hard drive, and 4GB of memory. And the 409 model has the 4th generation Intel Core i5, Windows 8.1, 6GB of memory, and a 750GB hard disk drive. The Inspiron 17 5000 series has... Right, so we're on the final, which is for the Inspirons, for the consumers. Then we're going on to the Latitude business computers, not including Precision laptops or XPS laptops. So for the Inspiron 17 5000, starting at £449, you get a 4th generation Intel Core i5, Windows 8.1, 8GB of memory, and a 1TB hard drive. Now for £599, you get i7 instead of the i5, same main hard drive, RAM, and operating system, and it's touch enabled. So you look at the Latitude 3330 business laptop, starting at 427 with the offer price at 299. Yeah, it has an Intel Celeron for the 299 and 427, Windows 7, 4 gigabytes of memory, and a 320 gigabyte hard drive. For the 499 or 349, you get an Intel Core i3, Windows 7, 4 gigabytes of RAM, and a 500 gigabyte hard drive. For the Latitude 13 Education Series, built for school, you get for 499 or 349, you get an i3 at 1.7 GHz, Windows 7 Home Premium, 4 gigabytes of DDR3 memory, 500 gigabyte hard drive, and 1 year basic warranty. With the Latitude 14 3000 series at 556 or 389, you get an Intel Core i3 at 1.7 GHz, Windows 7 Professional 64-bit and the Windows 8 license, a 1366 by 768 14-inch display, 4 gigabytes DDR3L memory, and a 5 gigabyte Serial 88 drive. Okay, and you also get the 1 year basic warranty. For the Latitude 14 5000 series, starting at 851 with the offer at 553, you get either a 4th gen Intel Core i3 at 1.7 GHz, Windows 7 Pro, 4 gigabytes DDR3 and a 500 gigabyte hard drive for the 553. For the 623, you get the i5 at 1.9 GHz, Windows 7 Professional, 4 gigabytes DDR3, a 500 gigabyte solid state drive with 8 gigabytes of flash memory, and for 571 or 879 with the 623 being 958, you get a 4th gen Intel Core i5, 1.6 GHz, Windows 7 Professional, a 4 gigabyte DDR3 L memory, 500 gigabyte solid state hybrid drive with 8 gigabytes of flash. For the Latitude 15 5000 series, you get a starting at 883, with the offer being 541 for the 541 configuration or the 883 configuration. You get a 1.7 GHz i3 CPU, Windows 7 Professional, 4 gigabytes of DDR3L memory, 500 gigabyte hard drive, and for the 927 or 603 laptop, you get a 4th gen Intel Core i5 4200U CPU at 1.6 GHz with 3 megabyte cache. And oh no, I'm just going over random specs. But 4 gigabytes of DDR3 memory and a 500 gigabyte hard drive. And for the E6440 secure business, starting at 1221 with the offer price at 794. The 1221794 model, you get an Intel Core i5 2.6 GHz, Windows 7 Professional, and then of course the i5 is only a dual core, 4 gigabytes of DDR3 memory and a 320 gigabyte hard disk drive. For the 1268 or 824 model, you get a 2.6 GHz i5, same model, Windows 7 Pro, 4 gigabytes of memory, and of course you get a larger hard drive, and there's a hybrid drive as well. Now, how come, you're probably thinking, the Inspiron, which are the home laptops, have a higher specification for a lower price than the Latitudes? Well, I'll explain it. The Latitudes are mainly thinner, lighter, and they're also better build quality, usually using aluminium or carbon fiber in a mix whereas the Inspiron series for consumers usually is made of plastic, carbon fiber, or plastic and carbon fiber, or some of them now are getting aluminium. However, the build quality isn't as good, they are thicker and they are heavier. But of course, they want to sell cheaper to the home markets than the business markets, because the business markets buy in bulk, so they often get offers anyway. So that is the comparison of the Dell home and business laptops. I may do a Hewlett Packard, or you may know it as HP and compact version in the future, or even a Lenovo slash, if you want to call it IBM, Lenovo one in the future. So thanks for watching this video.